I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Good morning, friends. I'm so glad that you got to join me for another lesson today. Today, we're going to talk about Daniel, kind of. We're going to talk about 3 friends that had to go to Babylon with Daniel. And let's see if you remember their names. Do you remember the names of Daniel's 3 friends that were with him when they ate the good food instead of the bad food? So his friends' names were Shadrach, Meschach, and Abednego. And those are kind of tricky names because they're not names that we have now, but you'll hear them a lot, so hopefully you can remember them. Your mommies and daddies can find our new story in Daniel chapter 3, verses, let me check here, 8 through 28. Yeah. So if you want to read it in the big Bible, your parents' Bible, you can do that too. And let's start our Sabbath school this morning by singing a couple songs. Our story today is about how God helps us be strong and brave. So let's start with My God is So Great. Okay? My God is so great, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so great, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. The mountains are His, the valleys are His, the stars are His handiwork too. My God is so great, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do for you. Let's do it one more time. My God is so great, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so great, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. The mountains are His, the valleys are His, the stars are His handiwork too. My God is so great, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do for you. Okay, let's sing another song. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and Daniel, they all had their faith in God. And they let that faith in God shine out of them. So let's sing This Little Light of Mine. Okay? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. We don't want to hide it. Hide it under a bush, oh no, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bush, oh no, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let's do all around, right? All around the neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. One more. We're gonna let our light shine until Jesus comes back. Let it shine till Jesus comes, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine till Jesus comes, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Good job, my friends. Let's get ready for our morning prayer. Okay, can you get your hands ready? We're going to sing our prayer song that helps us get ready for prayer, okay? I will bend my knees, I will fold my hands, I will bow my head, I will close my eyes, and very, very quiet be, while the prayer is said. Dear Jesus, thank you so much for each of our boys and girls that are watching our Sabbath school today. Please, please be with all of us. Please help us to be healthy. Please help us to stay strong even when there are scary things happening in our lives. We love you, Jesus. Amen. Okay, my friends, so now Daniel is going to tell us our story for the day. Have fun.
Hi, friends. It's Daniel again, and I've got a story about my friends. God helps us be strong. The king with the funny name, King Nebuchadnezzar, had a huge statue built to look exactly like him. He made a law that at a certain time of day, when the royal music played, everyone had to stop what they were doing and bow down to worship the king's statue. The day came, and the music played. Everyone bowed down and worshiped the king's statue. Everyone but my friends Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They would not bow down. They knew we were only supposed to worship God. While everyone else was too afraid to stand up to the king, God gave Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego the strength to do the right thing. God helps us be strong. The king was so mad that anyone would refuse to bow down to a statue. The king ordered Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to be thrown into a fiery furnace unless they changed their minds. My friend said, God help us be strong to face the furnace. We will not turn away from God. This made the king ever more mad. He had the furnace heated to 7 times normal. That's hot. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were thrown into the furnace, but they did not burn up. Old King Nebuchadnezzar looked into that furnace, and he saw that they were fine. And not only that, there was someone else in there with them. God was with them, helping them to be strong. When we stand up for what's right, like my friends did, we might face hard times, but through it all, God helps me to be strong.
Okay, friends, so I hope you enjoyed the story of Daniel's friends in the fiery furnace. Let's talk about it a little bit more. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were really strong, right? They were young and they were fit. They took care of themselves. The king had done something that wasn't very good. He had created a big statue of himself, and we call that an idol. And he told everyone that they had to bow down to it whenever the music would start. So all day the people would bow down to this statue and worship it whenever they would hear the music. But not Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They only worshiped God. The king, Nebuchadnezzar, remember this is the king that Daniel and his friends had gotten sent to. He was really mad at Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego because they would not obey him. And so he ordered that the 3 boys be tied up and thrown into a fiery furnace. That sounds like a very scary thing to me. What do you think? I think it is. And the furnace was hot, and the king ordered that it be made even hotter, as hot as they could make it, because he was so mad that the boys would not follow his directions. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were not afraid. How do you think that's possible? I am sometimes afraid of the dark in my own house, right? And I know that I'm safe there, and it's not hot. We have air conditioning. And these 3 boys were going to get sent to a fiery furnace. It's like a big oven with a fire in it. They were going to be killed, and they were not afraid. How is that even possible? Well, they were not afraid because God had made them strong. They knew they were doing the right thing and that God was with them. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were thrown into the fiery furnace. But the king got a big surprise because he saw 4 people inside. He had thrown Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego into the fiery furnace. And when he looked inside, that's 3, he saw 4. Who would you think that 4th person was in there? The king realized that God had protected them when all of them came out of the fiery furnace unharmed, right? That 4th person in there, that was God, keeping the 3 boys safe. God was with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He had made them strong. Sometimes life is hard, right? We might have to do something that we don't want to do. We might have to face some things that we don't feel strong enough to face. But we can turn to God for help. God can help us to be strong. Our hands-on activities today are going to be helping you remember how God is there for you and how he helps you to be strong. I hope that you have a fun time with it. For this hands-on activity, we built an obstacle course made out of paper flames to show the story of Shadrach, Meschach, and Abednego and the fiery furnace, and how God helps us to get through even the tough times in our lives. Today's craft time is all about making a fiery furnace. You'll need a paper plate, some red and yellow tissue paper, the little people cutouts, and some glue. Color the little people to represent the 4 people in the fiery furnace. Glue 3 of the people on, and then you can glue some of the flames or the tissue paper over the top. Make sure to add Jesus in at the end to show your kids how Jesus is always there to help us in our times of trouble. Okay, friends, let's practice our memory verse again this week. Remember, we do it for 4 weeks. We do the same memory verse. And so this week it's still the same one. So we are going to practice our memory verse, and we have our hand motions. Ready? My help comes from the Lord. Psalms 121, verse 2. Let's try it one more time. My help, strong help, comes from the Lord. Psalms 121, verse 2. Okay, friends, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed learning about Daniel's friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and I hope that you remember that you can be strong because God is there to help you to be strong. See you next week.
The Bible.